Hello and welcome back to the podcast, whichever you're watching or listening to. I thought I'll do an episode today that talks about the 5 value or benefits or insights that I gained from decluttering my space. So you can see my room is really clean comparatively to the past. And yeah, it was quite fun and I just gained some insights. So I thought that I'll share with you on this episode or video. There won't be subs because I'm lazy, so turn on your volume if you are listening to this on video. Okay, so I want to start with an analogy, right? Just imagine that life is a game of Tetris. Okay, we don't know what Tetris is, you are probably too young, but Tetris is a game, okay? It's a game where you got to play the blocks, you got to fit the blocks nicely in order to win the game. And sometimes during the game, we get overwhelmed with blocks, right? There's so many blocks and then we get stressed out, and what can we do? There are 2 options. Right, the first option is you stay calm, you stay present, and then you recover, and then you still win the game. Or option 2 is you panic, you mess up, and then you screw up the game. But sadly, in Tetris or in life, option 2 happens a lot more. Right? So in order to win the game, there are 2 things you need to do. Number 1 is reduce the number of blocks. And number 2 is to become present and focused so that we can play the game and get the job done. And that leads me to the value of decluttering. Right? Have you ever got so much things on your mind that you just cannot think properly? You have so much on your mind, and these are essentially the blocks in your mind, right? The blocks represent your distractions, the issues you haven't resolved, your insecurity, your doubt, and all this blocks you from being focused in the present, being productive in the present. And that's me recently, right? With the increased workload and commitments, I find myself sometimes getting caught up in my head. So I thought that to move forward in business, to move forward in life, I got to do a complete declutter of my space and learn to be more productive. So I did so over the weekend. It was fun. It was amazing. You know, of course, it's a long journey to go, but I gained some insights that I thought I'll share with you. Alright, so here are 5 insights of decluttering your space. So the first benefit or insight that I gained from decluttering is your mind is like your room. Right? It functions better when it's clean and clear of clutter. So our outward expression of our life is an inward reflection of our thoughts. Right? Our outward expression of our life is an inward reflection of our thoughts. Our physical space can reflect and reinforce our state of mind. To give an example, for community work, I once visited like 1-room apartments or flats. You know, and I grew up in relative privilege, so it was very eye-opening to me to see that when I went into the room, the paint was peeling off. You know, sometimes there were roaches, scurrying around, and I like animals but too many roaches is not the best. Yeah, so you can argue that it's unhealthy, right? It's unhealthy and it's unlivable. But for the people that were staying inside, it's kind of like they accepted their plight. It's not that they like it, but they accepted it, or they don't necessarily have a very strong desire to change it. So you could argue that their physical space actually reflected their state of mind, and in some sense they've given up in a way. So back to my point, right? This leads to the first value or benefit of decluttering. Your environment can impact your performance, right? Your environment impacts your performance. So recently I did a workshop and we engaged in a very fascinating discussion, right? Is the environment stronger or the will stronger? Which is stronger? And I think most people voted for the will, the human will. But in the end, we just all agreed that regardless of whatever you choose, right, we can all agree that both matter. Yes, the will is very strong, the human will is very strong, but the fact is that your environment matters, right? The physical space around you affects the way you think, affects your emotions and your feelings. So because all the information we take in is from our 5 senses, and that forms our beliefs, our thoughts, our emotions, alright? So your environment is very important. And one underrated aspect of the environment is your physical space, right? What's around you, and that is something you can control. So let's exercise that control and ensure that our physical space is clean so that our mind is optimized as well. So the second insight I realized is that I'm addicted to more shades of blue than I realized. Okay, what do I mean? Okay, when I decluttered my wardrobe, I realized that, oh man, wow. Okay, it's not that earth-shattering, but like up to 80% of my shirts are blue. And I didn't consciously think about it, when I observed it and I realized, And this just was done like bought over like the past couple of years thing, you know. So it made me just realize, right, that a lot of our patterns, behaviors, thoughts, emotions are lived on autopilot. Autopilot, which means that after a while we don't question it, we don't live consciously, we just live unconsciously. And that is good in a sense that we gain certain habits that doesn't require energy and effort. But there's a drawback to that, is that we become less adaptable, we become less able to adjust to certain situations, right, and thrive or survive. And we need to be aware of this, right? We need to learn how to live consciously, because if we don't pause and take a step back and observe your wardrobe of life, right, you realize that some things you just repeatedly do which may not be helpful. We get stuck in the same routines, ruminations, relationships even that are unhealthy or even toxic. So it helps to take a step back sometimes and ask yourself, is my ladder leaning up against the right wall, right? Or am I living effectively, right? Am I reacting or am I responding to certain issues? So that's the second point, right? Live consciously and be aware, just be aware of your actions on a day-to-day basis and don't live life just on autopilot alone. So the third point is an interesting one, is that when we declutter, we are forced to revisit, to challenge, and to clarify our identity, right? And this is interesting, right? Every item we own reflects a certain piece or aspect of our identity. I don't think we realize it that much. But identity, right, first of all, seems a complex notion, but it can be broken down into this acronym, this BRAVE acronym. BRAVE. So B stands for beliefs, R stands for rituals or your religion or certain things, certain practices you have. A stands for allegiances, who you're loyal to, what you're loyal to. V stands for values, right, your ethical values as well as what you value. And E stands for emotional experiences. So if I have faced mental health issues in the past, I might be more concerned about it presently. If I witnessed hunger or poverty in the past, these are issues I'd be more concerned about. So each of these aspects of the BRAVE acronym represents or reflects a certain part of your identity, right? And your identity is basically who you are, what you stand for, and who you want to become. And it's interesting because like every item that we have, right, actually reflects a piece of our identity. You know, it reflects our past and our present choices, and each item holds a certain emotion, holds certain memories, and some are stronger than others. You know, so when you're going through your stuff, it's quite odd, it's quite nostalgic. You have to look through certain things, and sometimes even shocking. You know, it's a plethora of emotions that's hard to describe, but essentially, right, you're forced to face yourself and you're forced to revisit and think about who you are and what you stand for. You know, so I mean, some of the things that I saw, right, like I saw a Disney princess ruler. I can't show it. Okay, I think it's gone. But yeah, anyways, a Disney princess ruler and some cards that my friends wrote me. And it just reflects, I'm wondering why am I using a Disney princess ruler, right? So back then, I used it with a pink pencil case in JC because I just wanted to be different. And I just wanted to like express my disregard for social convention. So I don't use pink anymore, but that is part of an aspect of my identity that still remains. You know, I don't want to just live life going with the flow. You know, I want to challenge and bring things forward. So those are things that you notice. And then of course, there are certain things that are hard to discard. Okay, mainly stuff from past relationships, right? And I put a poll on Instagram as well, and up to like 75% of people said they keep things from their past relationships. So I found that very interesting. But I mean, the whole idea is that it's bittersweet, right? I mean, there's certain good memories associated with that, certain gratitude, but at the same time, there might be a tinge of regret here and there. So I don't really have the answer to this. Whether you want to discard it or not, it's up to you. You can Google and seek some perspectives for yourself. But what I do know, or what I do realize, is that when you decide whether to throw away certain items or to declutter, you are essentially clarifying and facing yourself, right? You're revisiting and clarifying your identity. You know, some parts of our identity remains, some parts not as much, and some parts we need to let go of. And when we do let go, we become lighter and clearer in the process. Okay, so that's point number 3. So point number 4 is that we have hidden treasure. Once you discover it, you will spark joy. I'm not even kidding, this is not exaggeration. I actually made $700 from 2 items. You might be wondering what in the world are those items, right? Did I sell my kidneys? Is it a valuable watch? No! It's just Pokemon cards that I've kept for 15 years. And there are 2 Pokemon cards in particular, right? One is about $350 each. And when I discovered its value, I experienced the definition of sparking joy. Okay, I was like, wow, I was mind blown. And after I sold it to the buyer as well, I'm sure he appreciated it. It sparked joy for him too. And there are people willing to buy those cards. Although he said that he might change his mind if his girlfriend finds out. Yeah, but anyway, it sucks for him. I already sold the items to him. Yeah, but anyway, apart from my cards, okay, I actually discovered that I had a lot of other stuff as well, like watch straps, old past notes that I gave away to people. And it's nice to know that items that are otherwise hidden and stored somewhere and collecting dust can be used to provide value for someone else. And it really reminded me of the joy of giving and of course receiving, right? Who can deny $700 from 2 cards? But I think my point is that it's the same for life. It's the same for life. All of us have hidden value, hidden treasure that it's in us, but it's just unfortunate that it's just buried. It's hidden for years. It's really literally hidden for years, buried under layers of clutter. And what is this clutter? Is your insecurities, your doubt, your baggage, your fears, your failure, and all the blocks that you have that is preventing you from accessing your genius or accessing your value. And I see with students, or even not just students, like everybody, they personalize failure and they allow it to blind them to their value. So I encourage you, right, give it a shot. Now it's the holidays, right? Go and declutter, find some hidden value in your home. And who knows, you'll find the hidden value in the home of your soul as well. That's a bad pun. But yeah, makes sense, right? Whether is it, volunteering, whether is it doing a side hustle, mending a relationship. It's just so much value that we can give, so much more value we can give and receive back in return. So don't let clutter deny you of your birthright and your privilege to discover your own value. Alright, so point number 5A. Yeah, there's a 5B, it's a secret point, but 5A is that Notion is amazing. I just discovered a Notion. Okay, if you have no idea what Notion is, it's an online workspace or an organizer that allows you to organize things and your calendar, your resources, your schedules. And it's just amazing. Right? I first discovered this because I watched a YouTube video on this guy called Ali. Can't pronounce his second name, but he's a doctor and he's also a YouTuber, and he earns 3 times more in his YouTube and running courses than in his full-time job as a doctor. And he manages his time. Is insane, right? But one of the things that he talked about is Notion, how he uses Notion to manage his time. So that's how I got interested in it. And then I went to look it up and I tried it out and I realized, wow, it's amazing. There are 2, of course I'm late to the party lah. Some of you already know what Notion is, but for those of you that don't know, there are 2 main things I want to share with you from my experience. The first thing is that they have this thing called database. It's like an online library where you can catalog and condense all your information from various things into one database. So for me, that's extremely useful, right? For my books, my videos, my podcasts, everything, I just put it there. When I need to access information, it's very easy. Previously, I was using Evernote and it was just very messy lah. I take notes and I never look at it again. So that was the first thing that was really helpful. The second thing that was really helpful about Notion is that you can embed pages, an infinite number of pages into pages. So it's like you can embed stuff into stuff. And it's very good because I can just build one entire, my monthly, weekly and daily goals into one page. And it's there. It's so I just need to schedule my work, everything is there. It's very clean. It just gives a very versatile, organized and very clean look. And of course, I wrote an article as well. So if you're interested, you watch until here, means you're interested. Go and click on the link to my article. I gave some links to my Notion templates that you can use and try out. So especially if you're a student or even a teacher or just anyone working that is looking to get more organized, you should definitely try it out. Okay, if you're listening to this on podcast, look at it in the link description. So that's point number 5, which leads me to point number 5B. The Notion is amazing, but it does come with some drawbacks, right? There's always disadvantages to advantages. And the disadvantage of Notion is that because of the sheer versatility of stuff, I just got caught up in like trying to make things perfect, right? I was trying to code progress bars, I was trying to design, nice pages, and I just got super frustrated. So I stopped this madness. Okay, I paused, I took a step back. Okay, I just lied back and I chanted to myself, Kevin, just focus on the essential. Okay, just focus on the essential. Okay, everything else is not as important. So with that break in my obsessive routine, I managed to think more clearly, and I just asked a friend for help. And like it's a simple solution, and then it just got solved easily. And on top of that, I just settled with a design that is a lot simpler and gets the job done. And I was happy. So that leads me to the final point, right? Which is probably the most important point, is that focus on the essential. Focus on the essential, right? My obsessive type A personality once led me contributed to depression, and you notice that it's coming back again. When I get obsessed and I just get so caught up trying to make things perfect. And if you're like me, you just need to know that sometimes you need to learn to let go, right? Or even outsource things if necessary. And if you're like me, right, you have an obsessive trait and a need for perfection. Learn to let go, focus on the essential, and that is essentially what decluttering is about. So with that, I've come to the end of this long ramble. If you watched till here, I salute you. Okay, you must have a lot of patience, or I hope you got some value. Just definitely go and try out decluttering. Okay, so stay healthy, stay resilient. We'll see you in the next episode or next video. Right? Bye.